Hi. No, it's still facing upward.
No, that's what I was trying
Oh.
How long has it been? Oh, that's good enough. Hello. I'm gonna sit close to you for a little bit.
Okay.
No, you can. You're fine. Howdy doodah. I'm gonna flip the camera. Not you. Sorry, I didn't.
The delay.
Howdy. Hi, Jacob. So this is my friend Josh. And my thing is so old. It's sinking. Yeah, I just need a new one. Yeah. There's nothing we can do about it. I just need a new one that's strong enough to hold my heavy phone. But yeah, this is my friend Josh. He is going to be starting making content around finger weaving. And he has an Instagram and a TikTok. And he's going to be releasing some videos on Instagram and TikTok. Hopefully, if he gets enough, when he gets enough followers on like TikTok, he'll start maybe going live himself. I don't know.
Ideally.
I don't know what the requirements are for going live on Instagram. I really don't. Hi, Odekwe. So Odekwe is one of the people that were in chat, like, Ayo, get your friend. And she also knows people from around here. She knows
nice.
Journey Brotherton.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We're both native. We're both Ojibwe. We're also both enrolled in Bay Mills, which is a tribe in Michigan. Yeah,
And we're distant cousins.
that's right.
Yeah.
But aren't we all?
Oh, yeah, but.
So you can find the links to his Instagram and his TikTok in the description. Yeah, at this point of the live, I usually just sit here and kind of yap for a minute and share my thoughts or like what I'm dealing with. Like this morning, I was tired, so I talked about being tired. I have my tea. I'm just using the same cup as before, but it's pretty cool because it has a lid. Last night I was drinking elderberry. Tonight I'm drinking hibiscus. So that's my tea update. And I guess we can go ahead and flip the camera and get going on the finger weaving. We're almost 8 minutes in, so I think people have had enough time to join.
Get situated.
So I can probably lower this a little bit. Now, yeah, when I am doing this, hopefully you'll be able to find the balance. But I'm constantly like looking at my project and looking up. Yeah. And if you want, like, we can leave it like this. And if you ever want to get like closer to your project, we can also zoom in as well. Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So with the finger weaving, there's a front and a back, and that's how it forms. I like to keep my front and backs separate when I'm not using them, using hair clips from the dollar store. Super technical, but it does me right all the time.
It's very res to be using hair clips. So if you're going to have it that close to you,
Yeah, scoot it down. So this one's a little more complicated. I'll have to swap threads a couple times each row.
Yeah, so he's a little advanced. He has been doing some more complicated designs. You started off with like more simpler ones, right?
Yeah, and this is actually a test piece for a belt I actually already am over halfway done with, but I've walked away from it for a few months. So I'm returning to the test piece to remember all the intricacies of where to place the different threads so that the design lines up. That way I'm not having to take out the work on the belt. But yeah, this is my first attempt bringing together the lightning bolt and the chevron, which also creates the arrowhead.
I'm Resi. Give me all the Resi tips and tricks.
The hair clips, I'm telling ya.
Well, you're also using an office clipboard.
Oh yeah.
To hold the projects.
I guess I could show the Resi tips.
Well, here, just zoom.
Oh yeah, zoom out.
You can just zoom out. And yeah, got office clipboard. What's this? Just like a hardware clip?
Yeah, it's. I think I got it on Amazon, but I think it's used in like audio visual to hold up backdrops and stuff because it's a strong clip.
Oh, because it's like super strong.
Yeah. So I get that, and I actually have like a TV tray-ish that when I'm at home weaving, I'll slide up and sit on the couch.
Oh, okay.
And just clip right to that, but
you're not home.
I'm adaptable.
Yeah.
I've also brought safety pins, and I've safety pinned to the back of like chairs and stuff.
I've done that for like for either like friendship bracelets or probably something that a lot of people have tried, but also making leather rope when you want to braid leather strips together. get some strong tea.
Oh, wait. Okay. We can still see it.
Got more supplies for lots of crafting this week. Now I have the last requirement to beading for hours. Entertainment. Aw! Well, welcome. And you have something a little different, too. It's not beading tonight. We're finger weaving. By a finger weaving professional. Alright, so I think I'm gonna rip this down and get more sunlight. I've turned, with me being the only one home this week, I've turned this area into a little studio.
I support it.
I want to be in the craft room, but it's too cold down there right now. And because it's winter, the heater kicks on.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want the loud heater going for 5 minutes at a time, frequently throughout the live.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Spicy, I wanted to sit there. I wanted to sit there. I think Spicy has some opinions to share on live too.
She's super close. She never comes this close to me. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but...
Maybe not. I was in the basement earlier filming and I came back up here to get something and both of them were in this spot just like basking in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Like Egyptian gods.
Mm-hmm.
Is this your viewing spot for the outdoors? Oh, do you guys want treats? You want to see something funny?
Yeah. Oh, I heard noodles.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I don't just give them treats anymore though. I have to make them work for them.
Mm.
Otherwise, they will eat the treats so quick.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid they're gonna like get sick.
You get worried about their eating like you get worried about mine.
Yeah. Plus, because they're not like allowed outdoors,
Yeah.
I worry about like their mental health. So I look at this as like an enrichment activity too.
Mm-hmm.
So now they have to work for their treats. We'll see if Noodles remembers what to do. This is only the second time I've done it this way. Oh, he did! Good job, Noodles. He just like pushed the cup over.
So we were all thinking that spring was here, and I mean, I knew it was gonna snow one more time, but I've just got some dryness on my hands, and it keeps snagging on the little like.
That's been happening to me with the thread.
Yeah, like.
Hey, the baby mosquito. She said that your work is deadly.
Oh.
Real deadly.
Help me, Glitch.
Do you want me to zoom out?
Nope, we're good.
I zoomed it out a little bit so they could see you.
Oh,
using
latching
this
it.
too. Speaking of the baby mosquito, this song sounds like a mosquito. The groovy mosquito. Spicy, get into your jar. You can do it. There you go. You idiot. You have to go the other way. She just tried sticking her paw through the bottom of the... There she goes again. Girl. The opening is the other way. She gives up.
She's like, what's the point of having a window?
The mosquito emoji. My plan was to work on the fish while you're doing this too, but I feel like I have been nonstop grinding. I have a break from my day job. I'm supposed to be having a break, and I'm just like, no. I'm gonna work on everything else.
Yeah. Free time.
So this is finger weaving. I'm not sure. Do you want to talk about what this is?
So, this is finger weaving. This is weaving done without a loom. So that's why it's called finger weaving.
But what are you making, like?
So this is like a test piece, but this is the design of a sash. So you would wear it as a belt, or you could wear it as a sash across. Like historically, when we would have been traveling, that is would have been one of our travel pack items. When we have medicines, we could tuck it into the different like the different stitches. If you had like a twig of cedar that you were carrying, like you could, like it would hold things, you could latch things. In the modern day, we use them mostly just as ceremonial belts. You'll see like at powwows or at ceremonies.
I did tell them too that you had beaded a sash or a belt for our friend Cody too when she passed away.
Yeah.
To go in her casket. And I also showed them the thing that I have hanging on the wall.
Oh, the little keychain I did.
Well, yeah, I told them, I was like, I'm not sure if this is a keychain or like what exactly it is, but
yeah,
I decided that it's a wall piece. Like, because when you gave it to me, that hook was right there and nothing else.
Yeah, it was perfect. And I was gonna pull up the photo really quick of this sash that I made for Cody.
Maybe you just post it on your page.
That's an idea.
And they can go look at it.
I was able to pull it up. So, this is the woven part. The finger weaving, it does the natural diagonal, but Cody was also Navajo. So I wanted to honor that, and I was doing my best as a non-Navajo at their, how they do their weaving. It's typically done on a loom for them. And then I twist braided the ends. So, yeah. So it's mostly ceremonial now, but historically it would have just been like an everyday thing, kind of. Like,
with practical uses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fashion and function.
Pigeon says, so beautiful and thoughtful.
Oh, me glitch.
Yes, I have to play royalty-free music on YouTube or else I get yelled at by the YouTube gods.
The YouTube please crack down.
Yeah. Cannot play anything copyrighted. Otherwise, I'd be blasting that Spotify.
And I loop the little carry thread over here just so it's out of my way and it holds it taut for me. If I just set it over here, which I've done many times, like, oh, I just have a couple quick rows to do. So I'll just set it to the side, but when I'm alternating the threads, it bunches it up. So it eats a whole bunch of it, and then I have to pull it out. So this is a really easy way for the thread to be held out of the way and not have to like fix the stitch later.
Did you come up with that on your own?
No, I learned this from my mentor, Wasan. The clipboard I did not learn from her, but the holding up and a lot of the other YouTube folks and a lot of the different finger weaving content you can find online, they'll give that tip too.
So Odekwe is telling you, beautiful work. I've been mesmerized watching you the whole time. I want to learn to add to my strap dress regalia. I use a concho belt now, but yarn belt is what I've been... I can't see the word.
Is what I've been coveting.
Okay, I'm like, damn, I need to go to the eye doctor. I'm sitting a little further from chat than I normally do.
I just went and I was like, oh, you know, well, when I wear my contacts, I don't know, it's like a little fuzzy. And he was like, here, read this. So I read the line. He was like, okay, well, your vision's still above 2020 right now. So, like, you're doing good. I was like, oh, dang. Okay.
You successfully gaslighted.
Like, oh, okay. I'm fine. I'm actually currently in a strap dress class. I am trailing behind a lot of my classmates, so I need to own that. But that was talked about was like the finger weaving belts would have been one of our like typical things that women would have worn with the strap dress. Not knocking on the concho belts or like the painted leather belts. Those are beautiful, but this is like a more practical, I'd say. And also like those leather belts I feel like can be really constricting.
They are. If I have mine on too tight, I often can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
About to send you to IHS for glasses. The way that we both worked for our IHS, though.
Yeah, that's funny. I feel seen.
I actually haven't been to our eye doctor myself before. I've only taken, like, Blake. The last time I went to the eye doctor was when we were still having people see the doctor in the Sioux. So it's been too long at this point.
I haven't been seen in like 2 years until this year, and I was trying really hard to get in, but then I kept having conflicts, so I kept rescheduling, and so I think I had originally scheduled in December. Finally got in middle of March. I was like, oh, I can't keep doing this.
Do you just only do weaving, or what else do you create?
I do bead occasionally, but I am not an avid beader. I'm not good at design. That's what holds me back from beading. But what else do I do? I've dabbled in some quill work, but I haven't done that a whole lot recently.
You've made a few feather fans.
I really do love feathers. I love like feather work, and I'm not as good with like the official feather work from out west with the gluing of the floret feathers.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and I want to learn. I just don't know how to do that yet. So, but I like making fans. I like doing things with feathers.
I literally have a video about that. I do. But I mean, I didn't necessarily do it very well, I'll say. It was just me learning and showing what I was doing at the same time. But I know how to do it, and I have a ton of floret feathers in my craft room. I actually just filmed a video like teaching how to do thread work as well, but I haven't edited it together because I don't like it. I want to like refilm.
That's hard.
Finger woven belts are definitely more historically accurate for the dress. My conchos are vintage though. Oh, cool.
Nice.
Half are from my mom's belt when she was my age. Working on another strap dress for myself soon.
Yay. That's exciting.
I don't have any strap dresses. I want one though. Of course, I would want to make it on camera if I do make one. It's just that full-time job gets in the way of a lot.
Yeah. I'm a very avid online reader, so I do a lot of like research and stuff. And so the finger weaving, sometimes it's also known as Indian braiding, which is, you know, whatever.
Indian braiding?
Yeah, product of the times, blah, blah. But, so sometimes it's listed as that. But, I did have the privilege of first learning from someone, and she's still around, and well, I live about 2 hours-ish away from her, but she's still accessible. But when I'm really in the mood or I'm in the groove, sometimes I just need to look at the books to remind myself of like, oh, here's like where I keep stumbling. Because with like when you start adding more complexity, it's much easier to mess up.
Yeah.
And because this is like larger yarn, any mistake that you make will be a lot easier to see. If I was using thinner yarn, it would be harder to see.
Like lace. Lace size yarn. Did you pick up finger weaving right away, or did it take a few tries?
I picked it up. It's really just like moving the threads back and forth. So like I picked it up pretty quickly, but getting to the more difficult items, like this is including the chevron in the middle, so the threads are passing from one side to the other. That's more complicated, and it took me a while for like my brain to understand how that worked. Because it's hard to fix what you're doing wrong unless like you understand the process. So it took me a while on that, but.
Have you ever seen those lace maker videos on like TikTok where they move so freaking fast?
It's like.
Do you think you'll ever get to that level?
I can, like with this little keychain that I figured I'd work on too.
Like a simpler design?
Yeah, the whole. Actually, maybe I will just switch to this now.
You show them how quickly you can work with that thing.
Yeah, I'm all over here just stumbling over the threads and.
Here, I can grab it for you.
So with this one, this is like the candy stripe. This is just the very basic finger weaving. What has made the stripe design is all the color is on one side, so all of the gray is on the back and all of the maroon is on the front, and they just swap sides.
They definitely didn't see your whole hand.
My whole hand, they just saw like over here. My bad. So anyway, I'll quit explaining with my hands and just show you with like the actuality. Again, if I'm not swapping sides, this is going to be easier. I don't have a dowel, but...
There you go. Yeah, Bro has 4 projects in front of us. I thought it was a lot that I had 2 beading projects going. I'm the type of person that I can only really have 1 project. But right now I have 3 going right now. So that's like unheard of for me. Usually I feel like I have to like finish the one before I move on to another. I'm like that with everything. Like I can't play multiple video games at one time and like play a little bit now, a little bit later. It all has to be done in one go and then I move on. So I feel like my brain is like a little bit everywhere right now.
See, I start things and then just walk away. So that's my problem.
Snokiekwe, me with my 4 projects at all times.
Oh, I have plenty more projects at home. I just have 4 here.
Oh man. How many do you think you have going?
Well, I have the strap dress, the class that I'm in, and that, so it's a strap dress and then a pair of moccasins.
Yeah.
And then I have that pair of moccasins from the same teachers from the previous class. That's no indication of their teaching. My dad fell ill and died around that time. So I'm still working on those. So that's, 3 more projects?
Well, I guess I should add one to my roster as well as yours too, because we've been talking about an eagle staff for like ever now.
Mm-hmm. I've been accumulating supplies and things. Oh, thanks. I'm not good at checking that.
Well, maybe just let's move this up a little for you.
Okay.
Well, you do it actually. Why am I doing it for you? Because I don't know how far up you want it. There you go.
I don't.
That's helpful.
This one doesn't really require. It's very thin too, so. I started it as a keychain. I looped it on here, and then this is twining. But it's so long, and I have so much extra yarn left that I'm like, this might be like a little dog leash for Tabitha.
For your chihuahua.
My little chihuahua.
The more I'm watching, the more I'm understanding how you do it.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not super complicated. It's just like, you just have to pay attention to the details, and you can always, like, you should always be able to, like, unsort it. One thing that I also think is really cool about the finger weaving is that even when you exchange the colors, like that other piece that I was doing, when you're having more complex designs, there's not actually knots in the piece. The only knots will be at the ends when you're ending it and are gonna braid it. So kind of like Chelsea's keychain that she showed. The only knots that are present are at the very end.
You're just basically wrapping them around.
Yeah,
And around.
like there's just one that goes in here and the thread wraps around it, and that's how it gets its strength. And so, like, this is much stronger than if we just had a whole bunch of threads and we're lashing it around something to hold it together.
Yeah.
So it is tedious.
If I go by all the projects I'm working on, including the ones not here, is plenty more too. You know what? When I organized my craft room, after like moving into this house, I discovered a project that I started when it was like 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. I completely forgot all about it, and all I really did for this project, I didn't actually get started on the project itself. I just started collecting materials for it. I wanted like a coffee table that had beer bottle caps and then epoxy over them. So I started collecting beer bottle caps, and yeah, they're just in a bag. I kept the bag. Like, I don't know if I'll ever actually get to the table thing. I would like to at some point. But also, now I feel like those beer bottle caps are soon to be relics because logos change and they're already 15 years old, so just resi with the beer bottle caps.
Our local beer bottle cap archivist.
Yeah. Half of them were obtained before I was even old enough to drink them legally. My wife enjoys your videos. Keep going.
Oh. Okay.
Thanks. I love that the baby mosquito's mom is here and the baby mosquito's dad.
I don't remember who sang it, but is it Hank Williams or It's a Family Tradition?
Oh, I'm not sure. The baby daddy.
The baby daddy. Too good.
I think you have to move the project up again.
Oh, okay. Good point. Thanks.
You're getting your practice in.
I am.
When I'm sitting here and beating and on live, I mean it, like constantly doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised my neck even works anymore. Ow, I like scraped my foot against the wood of this chair and now it hurts. Oh, feels good to just be sitting here doing nothing. Work for me, slave.
My God. It's your CEO era.
I'm in my CEO era.
Hashtag girl boss.
I'm on council now. I suppose the cats are done with their treats. Oh, they left one. One treat.
It was spicy or noodles?
It was spicy.
I was hard pressed to imagine it being noodles.
He probably was like digging into the empty cup, like, I know there's more.
Please, please.
I told him to leave my favorite YouTuber alone.
Sanctuary. Yes. Yeah, this is a less showy way of lacing, essentially. Of lace.
With how thin it is, it really could be a leash.
I'm like, depending on how much.
Just a really sacred leash.
Yeah.
Or it could be a strap for a bag.
It could be.
If you put the same type of clip on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
We know you like your bags.
I do. I do. Should I zoom out a little so they can see the... So I don't have the dowel. I'm just...
Do you need help?
I'm just wrapping it on the top of the clip to hold it. Like it's nothing too technical, but I just wanted you guys to see.
I'm trying to think if I have any other unfinished projects down there. There has been quite a few projects that they're not even in unfinished territory anymore. Like they've been aborted. I'm done with them.
Call Baymel Social Services because they've been abandoned.
There's been a few pair of earrings where I've made the entire earring and then I'm like, I don't like this. And so I just scrap it. Spicy found the treat.
She's like, I knew she'd do the work for me if I just waited.
I know, I think she completely forgot about it because she was actually like scooting by quickly and then just like abruptly stopped because she found it. She's like, wait! The sacred leash. That honestly could be a business idea, handmade weaving leashes.
Etsy. Oh no, don't give them no shout outs. Handmade.
Etsy used to be so good for that. I mean, I remember when Etsy first launched, that was the place to get stuff that was like handmade and from artists. It still is, but you have to sort through a lot of bullshit to get there.
Yeah, there's a lot of other prioritized content on there now.
My mom doesn't want to sell on Etsy. She uses Shopify, but like that's involved in, that's like having your own store.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever gone to Shopify and just searched for a store. Like I think Shopify, you have to actually go to a store to get stuff. You can't just go to the platform and find stores. Yeah. Unless you can, I don't know. I've never tried.
You can, but like I wouldn't say the average person is. I have. Like I've downloaded the Shopify app on my phone and searched different things and found some cool stuff, but it's different though. You don't know what you're gonna get.
You just have to keep moving the project up the cliff, I think.
Well, I'm just making progress. It's because it's so thin.
Time to switch. Oh, I thought you were about to switch.
Oh, I could. This is...
Do what you want.
I'll stay on this for a few more.
I don't like this song. It reminds me of like the Avengers or something. I'm skipping it.
I think I liked the last song. I was like, this is actually kind of nice.
A lot of the music on here, I'm like, wow. This should be on Spotify or something. A lot of YouTubers use this site for music. You do have to pay a subscription to it every month. And I don't remember what it is. It might be like $15 a month or something. Like it's more than Spotify. But if I don't have it, then I won't have music for my YouTube. And without music for my YouTube, I feel like it would be really dry. So... You're like, it's dry with or without the music, honey.
I'm not saying that.
The baby mosquito's up. Oh.
Oh my.
Dang. Can a mom have a moment of peace? No.
I was at TJ Maxx today. And wait. Maybe it wasn't today. Anyway, there was a little thing that was like, mom sleep. It's like regular sleep, but with no sleep.
That sounds like something you'd see at TJ Maxx.
Yeah. This is like giving NFL vibes. Like, it feels like this would be a good background track to like a Roger Goodell diss track.
I think this playlist, I just have it on hip hop and instrumental only, so no vocals. And I feel like this playlist, even with those filters, it like is sectioned by sort of like subgenres, how they sound. So right now all the songs are sounding like this, and then we might hit a chunk of songs that just sound very like lo-fi and dreamy.
Mm-hmm.
This morning at the end of my beading session, it was playing Christmas hip hop.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't even notice until the first song was like almost through, and then you heard vocals, just one string of vocals at the very end say Happy Christmas, and I was like, what? And I realized I was hearing like sleigh bells in the song.
Oh,
I didn't even clock it. Hashtag no sleep.
Yeah.
Instead of another plane, club.
Yeah.
It's another bottle. Rattle.
Pacifier. Rocking.
Nodding out. No sleep.
Another bottle.
I like the plastic that is on the clipboard.
Mm-hmm.
You can see reflection in it. So you can't really see your face because of your hands, but
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say the latency isn't there. The actual live is like, you got to give it a few seconds.
But hey, mission accomplished.
So I was slightly bitching about you yesterday too in the live because I was like, he's been wanting to get this going for a while. He's told me quite a while ago that he wants to start this finger weaving content, but he keeps being concerned with gathering equipment instead of just switching on his phone and going for it. So with that being said, what kind of equipment do you have now?
I have a couple different like phone mounts.
Kind of like what I have here?
No, mine attach to,
like
the tabletop.
Okay,
Oops, my
I
bad.
think I remember seeing that actually.
So I actually have a couple if you wanted one. It doesn't have a. It has a light you could attach to it, but
it's fine. I need to order some more stuff. Because that is, as you can see, it's like losing its strength, so it's sinking. And then yesterday, while I was filming content, I accidentally clipped the wire for my mic. It's so stupid. I was so mad. And earlier yesterday too, the clip that clips the mic to your lapel, that also broke off the mic too. So my mic broke twice yesterday.
well, also maybe we need to smudge your equipment, and maybe we should have an honoring feast for all your equipment.
Well, I think the equipment was old as well. So
It's done a lot of good work. It's time we
Yeah.
honor it for the good it's brought to the people.
like that thing, I think I bought maybe around 2021. And then the mic I've had since like 2019. So I did get my mom one of those things that like hangs over your neck and holds your phone.
Does she like it?
I mean, it appeared as though she liked it, but I don't think she's used it.
I fidget too much to wear one of those. I'd make people ill.
I think I would fidget too much too. As somebody who like films a lot of overhead content, clearly I have the overhead thing, but yeah, I constantly like I have to move around and like stretch and stuff.
I'll switch over. Ooh, I just noticed that.
What?
Your one little beadwork project back there.
Oh, the draft king?
Yeah.
Yeah, just finished her today.
Oh my god.
So, tomorrow is edging, and then after that is doing the rope.
Nice.
Well, so we're moving on to the next project?
Yeah, I think I'm about halfway on that.
Pretty good, pretty good. And you did a huge chunk just in the short time that you were sitting there, too.
I could get that done really quickly if I really wanted to, because it's simple. So I'm not always good at knowing where the rows are when I'm doing the chevron. So
you gotta do some figuring for a moment.
Well, I'm like, I don't think I'm that bad off, but you can tell that it's not aligned. I think I have 2 extra rows. Maybe 1. But I gotta catch back up on this side.
Your first boil is almost done? Oh, nice. Snokiekwe does sugar bush.
Nice.
I forget how long it takes to boil, and I'm sure that depends on how much you have, like if you have a little pot versus a huge vat. But it's a long time, isn't it, that you boil? And even then, like, a lot boils away. And then you're left with the good stuff. Is this pattern kind of the same as the green and blue one?
Yes, it's just different colors. And I pushed out the arrowhead further than I did in the green and blue one.
Mm. $40 gallons of sap makes about 1 gallon of syrup. Damn. I knew it boiled down, but I didn't know it was that much. Holy.
To quote Uncle Owen Wilson, wow.
Not the Owen Wilson, wow. Wow.
Wow.
So far, just under 2 gallons here for our little sugar bush. Only like 30 to 40 taps, which isn't much. I'm just gonna, maybe I'll angle it a little.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, don't be
I
sorry.
switched to more complicated, so I'm like, oh my God, focus on the design.
You just have to like move the camera to be aware. Like, of course, do it where you're comfortable. We just have to move the camera to be where that is.
Mm-hmm. Actually, wait. I did bring some other things.
You did.
I could show some other finger weaving. Not there's some finger weaving that I have that I didn't do that I bought that could shout out.
You bought some finger weaving, eh?
Yeah. Well, the prices were so good, I actually felt guilty. I was like, can I pay you more? And they're like, no, take it. It's like, oh. So this is actually that same design, just in a different color palette and in a smaller number. Actually, there's an additional color in here. So I bought this.
Wow.
I didn't make this, but like this is... So it's folded in half. Like this is all the weaving and then here's all the fringe, so.
That's a lot.
Yeah. This one is just the basic stitch that I was doing with the keychain future dog leash. But what she did was she used, this is the halfway point, this is where she started at, I can tell. Like variegated yarn. And so she just set it up and it just made the pattern and it slowly cycles through. Like that one comes down and you'll pick up the colors and then it goes back through.
Okay.
So it looks way more complicated, but
it's really just diagonal.
Yeah, it's just done just to show that like I've been having to work through some of I was really wanting to do the fire design, which is one of the more like popular designs, I'd say. But I was really struggling. It was a little loose here and you can tell in the back. So when you make a mistake, that it just stands right out. That's the issue. I did really great in here, and then I don't know what happened. I lost it, and then it got really loose.
That was one of your first ones, though, right?
Yes, this was my first time doing the arrowhead with like the additional colors, and this is one of the whitest pieces I've ever like woven.
I thought you said whitest for a second.
Oh.
I was like,
Widest.
Widest.
I'll work on my diction. And then this I was working on around the same time I did your keychain.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, the arrowhead, like, I was also challenging myself to see if I could weave the pieces apart and then weave them back together. It was a little loose, but...
Kind of like little buttonholes or something.
Yeah, or I was envisioning, like, for the tops of, like, a roach.
Oh, okay.
Like, for, like, that braid, right?
Yeah.
So... And it's not perfect, there's mistakes, but like this was a test piece. That's why I've been doing them, just so that I can practice without any pressure that I'm not, you know, cutting out a whole bunch of pieces that are 150 inches long. Oh, this was I tried it here too, and this one turned out way better, but yeah. I did this one on a dowel with no real thought of what I was going to do with it after I took it off the dowel. So this is one of those, like, note card.
Just open,
yeah,
open clasp.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I brought these along.
It's like your little museum of growth.
Yeah. I also made this keychain, so... The green and blue one that I was working on earlier, the sash, I plan on gifting this keychain to... So the sash is going to be for a little boy who's royalty in his tribe. And then this is for his mom. Matching keychain.
Cute.
So, yeah. These are just the regular braids. And then the middle one is a twisted. So, yeah. Okay, back to this.
Not you nodding your head. They can't see you do
Oh.
that.
Miigwech. Miigwech odekwe.
See, the vibe of the music has changed.
It has.
Now we're falling asleep.
Actually, I wasn't going to put me to sleep. I was going to sit here in contemplation and cry a little.
Being that I'm not really doing anything but sitting next to you, I keep thinking of like grabbing my phone to play on, but
Oh, but I'm hogging it.
I actually had a really sweet streaming setup, but my laptop isn't powerful enough to run it, so I'm sour about that.
Your laptop does not have the power.
No. And I could use my work laptop, but the softwares need updates, and when I try to install updates, it needs admin approval. So annoying. I'm like, well, this isn't gonna get done before spring break, before all of these lives, so we're doing it resi. Just gonna aim my phone at the ceiling instead of the nice like starting screens.
It's fine. It's overrated.
It is not. You'll see once you get going, you'd be like, how are people doing that? It's software. You want all the things.
All of the things.
Ugh.
Yeah, this one's different because the yarn is not as thick as the blue one, so there's a lot more yarn packed in here, so I'm having to pay more close attention to like the threads.
Like the I mean, I know they're not knots, but they kind of look like knots. So like there's more knots is what you're saying because of how small the yarn is.
No, like the yarn is packed in more tightly because it's thinner.
Yeah, so there's more of these like they look like knots, so that's why I'm calling them knots.
Oh. Yeah, I got distracted. I'm just meaning that like there's just a lot more yarn in here, and there's a lot more that I'm having to like the interchange, and because it pulls thinner. So like the interchange, yes, those are happening every time I change the color, but like there's just this pulls thinner than that does.
Okay.
So it's a lot, like it's more dense. I don't know how to describe that. I'm backtracking.
Oh no, not the spilled beads.
Oh no. That's like, it's a special kind of like heart drop. Like, I spilled beads.
Especially if you have multiple colors that spill together.
Mm-hmm.
I have to sneeze. I don't usually sneeze on live.
Should we have paused it?
No, yeah, I usually mute the mic and then sneeze. Except when I'm on Twitch, like, it takes quite a few buttons to get to the button where you can mute the mic. Like, I have to press home and then go right like 5 times and then scroll down to the mic and then turn it off. So I'm sitting there having to sneeze like like trying to press all these buttons.
Can I have a glass of water?
Yeah. I'm just one of those kind of CEOs, you know.
Thank you. She's a CEO who believes in servant leadership. # blessed. The bead spill was only one color.
Oh. Well, I'm glad it was only one color.
# blessed.
It sucks to spill them nonetheless. I've had the multi-bead spills, or the multicolor bead spills a few times though, and it sucks. There are beads all over this house too. Like, earlier I went into my craft room to do some sewing today, and Spicy had knocked over my container of pins on the floor. So, I mean, that's another topic right there, a little butthead. But, so I'm like down on the floor picking up the pins, and I had to have seen like 3 rogue beads. How did any of you get down here? Especially because I don't even think I've really done that much beading down there. I think I've done like one or 2 projects in my craft room. All of the other beading I've done has been up here. I'm like, how does this happen? And then when I was doing the big skirt and vest order, and I was down on my living room floor cutting out the patterns, you know, the little cracks that are between your hardwood planks? Yeah, I was seeing beads in those cracks, like deep in those cracks. Because I don't really vacuum in there, it just gets swept, so...
Well, and at a certain point, like, vacuuming wouldn't even pick that up if it got wedged
Deep
in there.
enough, yeah.
And, like, that's where people walk, so it makes sense. Which is to say, you don't need to feel bad. It's just head in character.
Oh my god, I swear I took my allergy medication last night, but I keep sneezing and having a blowing nose and my eyes are super itchy. I'd say I'm allergic to you, but it's been an all-day thing, an all-day battle.
I was over here the other day, but not today. Not till now.
Oh gosh, I'm sitting like a shrimp. Stop it.
anything having to do with shrimp always makes me think of the oft and unoriginally retweeted tweet of, "Are you telling me a shrimp fried this rice?"
Oh, yeah.
So dumb, but so funny.
And all of the variations that came from it.
Yes.
I can't think of any at the top of my head right now, though. Are you telling me a chicken cut this lit? Sorry.
So what I was gonna say about the density of the threads, like, because it's thinner, so if like, so if we were going to like wrap a rope with beads, like doing it with size 13, like you're going to have a lot more beads that fit in there.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that, like there's more threads that fit in.
The beads get everywhere, and me and the future owner of this house will be haunted forever. Seriously, they're like glitter. They just stay forever. Look, there's a rogue bead right there.
Yeah, some say haunted, some say blessed. And there's beads involved, we'll just say blessings.
Although that bead is definitely, most certainly from the DraftKings. I'm amazed how many people have recognized that logo too.
Oh, well, I know. I pay attention. And
I've had several people come in the live though and be like, "Is that the DraftKings logo?" And I'm like, "How did you guys know?"
people like gambling.
But I also thought like DraftKings was pretty niche, even in the gambling and casino community.
But it was a trailblazer in the tribal gaming.
So it's not just our tribe that they hang out with, it's other tribes too.
I think so, but like, I think because they were first on the scene in Michigan, like they were one of the first, like I think that is also part of the notoriety. Plus, I've seen a lot of their ads and stuff, so I think that they've made it a point to really invest in their advertising.
They're like, "We know what to do. We're gonna go partner with the Indians." I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so we can actually see what you're doing.
Oh, good call. Sorry.
You keep saying sorry.
Excuse me.
Don't even
sorry.
Don't say sorry for saying sorry either.
Should I channel Demi Lovato?
Sorry, not sorry?
Yeah. Baby, I'm sorry.
Did I ever tell you the story of George yelling at me about that song before?
No.
This was a long time ago. It was right when that song came out, which I think was like, it had to have been like 2018 or something. Like, it was a while ago. And we were standing outside the 313, and I think he was smoking. I don't remember why I was outside. I wasn't smoking at the time, I don't think. Maybe I was. But there was like, it was a 313. It's a dance club. There's a DJ, and I mentioned something about wanting to hear Demi Lovato, and he's like, "Oh my God, what song? And don't say sorry, not sorry."
It's on brand.
And I think the funniest part about that was the song I was wanting to hear too.
That's also very on brand. Like, not George calling it for exactly what it was. Also, we might recall, I was like, hang on, I love the hair clips to hold my things. Well, then, I get distracted and forget to use it. So it's like, okay, well, I'll just, it's fine. Oh, George, that's funny. George and I have been watching Into the Badlands. I know that's not necessarily new, but I don't watch things unless it's with someone else, and George has seen everything at least 3 times, so he's rewatching it with me. But it's good.
You can't watch anything by yourself?
I can, but it's like things are more meaningful for me if I watch it with other
You
people.
just wanted somebody to yap about things with.
At the very least, afterwards, yes.
It would have been nice to have somebody to yap about Twin Peaks with, because that's just one of those shows that's like twists and turns everywhere.
Okay, so...
Like, left me gasping.
You want me to watch Twin Peaks next? Okay.
I mean, I question if George will enjoy it, because it's interesting, yes, but do you know David Lynch?
He was recently, in the most recent, let me gather my thoughts. The current season of RuPaul's Drag Race in the Celebrity Shade Game or whatever it's called.
Really? Somebody played
Someone
it?
dressed up as David Lynch, yes!
Oh, I need to go watch that.
I do have a point of reference. George signed up for Fubo, and it's like $80 a month. And there's still commercials. I was like, no, cancel during the trial, so he did, but...
Yeah, you'll have to pay to watch Twin Peaks, though.
Yeah.
You have to pay for Paramount.
Oh, okay, that's doable.
But he's just basically his stuff can be pretty weird. I like weird shit though, and I just knowing George, I don't know how he's gonna feel about a lot of Twin Peaks. He's probably gonna be like, what the hell is this? What am I watching right now? Like, I can hear him saying it right. What are we even watching right now?
That was fun.
Not.
Not you giving him a speech impediment. Oh my god.
When you forget the hair clips, creators got it for you. #blessed.
Yes, #blessed.
It's like, creator, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Creator, take the yarn.
Like, please, please.
He made a lot of movies too, and I've only seen one. I do want to watch more because my friend Brighton insisted I watch it, and it's called Eraserhead, and I had the worst nightmare of my life after watching that.
I like how you started that with, he's made a lot of things. I need to watch more of them. Anyway, the first thing I saw gave me a nightmare.
But his stuff is so good. He's when he died, the reason that I watched Twin Peaks finally was because David Lynch recently passed away, and so I was like, oh, okay, fine. I'll finally get watching the David Lynch stuff I've been saying I'm gonna watch for years now. And he's got quite a following of people that really adore his work. When he died, I was on David Lynch internet for a while after that because people were just mourning. When I finally got to talk to Brighton again, I was like, by the way, Brighton, I just want to let you know, when David Lynch died, I thought of you. And he was like, thanks. I was devastated. Do you know Brighton? Can you hear him say
Yeah,
it?
I know, Brighton.
The way he said that? Thanks. I was devastated. I love Brighton. I've been hanging out with him whenever I see him lately. We just hung out the other night there was a show at Birdseye. There were a bunch of rock bands, and some of them were really good for being from around here-ish. There was the first band that was playing when we walked in. I was like, man, these guys are good. And so I have a buddy that is in a band that they played earlier that day, and so they came up saying hi, and I was like, do you know where these guys are from? And they said they were from Gaylord, and I was like, no fucking way. That's amazing. But yeah, Brighton was there, and he's gonna put my face on a show poster.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
I'm jealous. So George is at Maloney's, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be like, Brayton, where do you put your flyers up for your shows? Like,
Cause he wants to advertise the shows, of course, to get more people to go, but he wants the right people there.
yeah.
So he is very particular about how he advertises his shows and like where he puts his flyers and stuff, and how he does his flyers as well.
Yeah.
And I'd say it works because it worked on me. I actually didn't know that he was doing shows until he was having his third one.
Yeah.
And I'm like walking past the billboard of flyers in the college, and there's this obscure flyer. And I'm like, what is that? And I go and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, are these bands? I will say though, at first I didn't have a lot of faith in the flyer just because of our area. I instantly was like, oh, these are probably just a bunch of old guys that are going to be playing Bob Seger or something. Like, I'm good. But then Cody like texted me the night of that show, like, come to this show, my friends are playing, yada yada. And so I went and I was like, oh, this is that poster? Damn, Brian. This is fun. I'm gonna keep coming.
No, there was one that he did that looked like, it was like a 1980s ransom note. It like that's how the flyer looked. It looked like it was cut out of magazines.
Yeah, and it kind of had like a burglar in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this.
I want to say that might be the first one.
I love it. I respect it.
The last poster did have somebody's face on it too. I'd show it to you, but my phone. And I don't know. It's like surreal art. Like yeah. So when I went to the show for that poster, you know, he came up and said hi, and he was like, so when you looked at the poster, could you tell who it was? And I was like, no, I didn't even think about it. I just thought it was a face. I didn't know it was actually of somebody. And he was like, yeah, if you look real closely, it's Joe Puff.
I can hear him telling you this.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, I love that. And so then he went to this old YouTube video that him and his friends made a long time ago. It was like 2012 or something. Yeah. And he paused it and zooms in to a frame of Joe Puff's face. He was like, I screenshotted this, and this is what I sent the artist to have them do. So yeah, so it was that night that he was like, and after we had this conversation, he's like, yeah, so can I have an artist draw your face for the next poster? And I was like, hell yeah, man, yeah, you have permission, go ahead. And I guess I just thought that he was gonna like grab some photo from my Instagram or something, because we're friends on Instagram. Yeah. So I thought he was just going to grab that and send that to the artist. But then the other night at the show on Saturday, he was like, yeah, so do you remember when I asked you to like take some photos and send them to me for the artist? I was like, wait, what? I didn't remember you saying that I needed to do something. That's no problem. I would have had it done by now. So now I feel bad because the show is next month. Well, it's in May, but like you want to get advertising it soon. Anyways. So yeah, he like showed me some examples of what he was looking for, and I stayed up the other night. I did my makeup at midnight and stayed up taking photos. So I'm super excited. This will be the second time somebody's drawn my face.
Are you going to use it in your YouTube channel?
No, because it's their poster.
Oh.
It's my face, but I don't own the art.
I mean, you could just crop out the rest of the poster.
No, because the artist didn't consent to that. That would make me like stealing their art, basically.
That's fair.
As somebody who does like art like that. Yeah. I'm very aware of the rules. Actually, I mean, technically it'll be the third time somebody's drawn my face because I did pay a girl a long time ago to draw my face for my YouTube, and it used to be the intro image to all of my videos. She was like just starting out and wanted some practice, so I paid her. She like put out a thing like, hey, $25, I'll draw you. And I was like, sweet, I'm looking for something like this. So yeah, I paid her, but the other person, they were an artist that, like at the time I was taking a lot of self-portraits, and like that was my art medium at the time, was self-portraits and putting them on Instagram. And another artist had seen one of my portraits and they were like, yo, this is dope, can I draw it? And I was like, yeah, go for it. But with all that being said, it just reminded me of a scam that's been going around on TikTok. And I discovered it myself because somebody had commented on one of my videos and they were like, hey, can I draw you? And I don't know, I just felt, even though I've had that kind of, like I've been approached that way before, I just knew that it was kind of weird and not legit. So I don't know what they're after or how they're getting it, but apparently a scam to look out for on TikTok is people offering to draw you.
Noted. You heard it here first, folks.
We're talking about scams yesterday too, because there was somebody in my chat who they trap scammers. They were like, I'm leaving you on alert though because I'm working on scamming scammers right now.
The only scammer I support 100% is Joanne the Scammer.
Joanne Fabrics?
No. She is a scammer too, yes.
The only scammers I support are my cats.
I suppose Tabitha's a scammer too. She don't do nothing. Tabitha's my little dog. My demon.
Otherwise known as Chihuahua.
Yeah.
It's about a half hour left. You have it in you?
Yeah.
Did you do this one yet?
No, but I don't know if I'm going to because I'd have to be up here. It's better for my aging eyes if I can just look down over here.
Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty.
I think now that I got it though, I'm gonna go back to the blue.
You want switches?
Oh.
You want switches? You sitting on your heater? Like all the holes and snags in this curtain because of her.
Those are Chelsea snagging curtains.
Spicy snag.
Spicy snagging curtains.
She put holes in my living room once too. Given up on having nice curtains because of her.
She's just channeling Hair the Musical. Let the sun shine in.
Even if it's through tiny claw holes.
Yeah. Especially. they asked, are snag and curtains what you put in the wigwam when you need some alone time? Or are we still calling dibs on times?
Okay, so the other day we were talking about multi-generation family living.
Yeah.
And just kind of how like for some families it's still a thing, but for a lot of families it no longer is.
Yeah.
And then I brought up like multi-general. I'm like, I don't know how we did it when we just had the wigwams. Like how did we multi-generation like live like that? Just because I feel like I'd go a little nuts with my family so close. And then I was like, how did any of them even snag? Like so then we started theorizing, you know, maybe they designated times in the wigwam.
Mm. Oh. Also, I mean, creep away. I always think of the Native Youth Sexual Health Network on Twitter. They had a series of pickup lines, and one was like, "Will you check me for tips?"
Yeah, that was my theory. Was that that they just went to a different location, like they snuck away, and yeah. But we had a pretty extensive conversation about this.
Hey.
So maybe snag and curtains are useful for designating your own space in the wigwam.
Marking your territory. Well, also, I just feel like intergenerational living, not in capitalism, would be way different.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
The nuclear family was definitely to benefit capitalism, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Well, but also, like, with us Anishinaabe, like, you know, we're more nomadic and we would live in, like, small. But, like, thinking of, like, the folks in the longhouses where you'd have, like...
Several
clans living in there.
Yeah.
Like...
I didn't even think about, like, longhouses or, like, teepees or any other type of home. I just thought of ours.
Yeah. Like... Not me overcomplicating things.
But I mean, it's something that obviously took place.
Yeah, like it's a consideration.
Our ancestors were living in these houses and we were born somehow.
Mm-hmm. I need to check my mail.
Not you thinking about your mail right now.
It's always in the back of my mind. It's like, you haven't checked your mail. Not you checking your mail right now.
I have so many projects I've done that I haven't gotten paid for yet. One of them I did back in August.
For the tribe?
No, this was actually for NMU.
Oh. Oh. They always call dibs at 1 p.m. on Sundays.
Because everyone else is at the last minute.
Yes. It's good thinking. That's strategic. I actually was thinking about, you know, they have those embroidery hoop stands.
Yeah.
They have lap ones that like there's a little plank of wood that like you slide under your legs, and it has a stand up, and you would be able to.
I wonder if that's what somebody in my chat the other day said that they had some sort of like stationary stand like that. I almost wonder if that's similar to what they had.
Well, I feel like I need to get one because when I do my beadwork, I like to like bend it and fit the string underneath the beads, but then like that's how I overcrowd. So it's a bummer. But I bring this up because if I got the lap one, I'm thinking that I could just clip it on there and just like sit on the couch and have a setup there. So then I'd weave more, but.
I mean, these things definitely help. It does involve like holding the project and your string at the same time, though.
Yeah. So, but like, this has been fun. This has been cool. I think I'm gonna switch back to the really easy one.
This one?
Yeah. Let's see how much further I can get done on that. And I'll clip it up here.
I was gonna say, you just have to keep remembering to move the clip.
Yeah, I was like, I'll start it way up here. Oh, I actually started another keychain and I should have brought it over. Actually, I don't know why I didn't think about that one. I'm doing it's a sawtooth, which is the lightning, but only half of it. So like you bring the thread over and you would do the exchange and then it would stay that way. And so I had bought this yellow and green. I was like, oh, those look good together. So I did it up as a keychain. And I've gotten a fair amount done on it. Like a third of the way done. I'm like, oh my, this is Packers colors. Who can I give this to around here? Like
Charlie.
Oh, I didn't know she was a Packers fan.
Yeah.
I asked Candace, and she was like, Kurt. I'm like, oh, well, I do love Kurt.
I mean, it's not like there's a lack of Packers fans here.
You're right. Actually, it's
like half and half. We're just as close to Detroit as we are to Green Bay. That kind of just boggles my mind sometimes.
Actually, I think we're closer to Green Bay than Detroit.
If we are, then it's just like by a smidge.
But I think, well, because Green Bay, we're not traveling like 70, 75 miles an hour like we are to Detroit. So you're covering more ground in the same amount of time. So I think that Green Bay is technically closer.
By like mileage?
Yeah. Like, Minneapolis is only just a little further away from us than Detroit.
No.
But, yeah.
Minneapolis is like 10 hours away.
But that's because it's not all freeway. It's all like back roads. You're going like 50, 55.
No,
yeah.
It's not as close as Detroit. There's no fucking way. There's a whole state between us and Minneapolis. And it's not like Minneapolis is right on the edge of Minnesota.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
It is too.
I don't believe that Minneapolis.
I'm looking for a tiebreaker in the chat, friends.
I don't.
Minneapolis is right on the edge. It's like it's like 10 miles in, but it's like.
But I don't
it's
think
right at the border.
Minneapolis is as close to us as Detroit.
If there was more direct routes and if we had like a more developed highway infrastructure to there, it would shave a few hours off. But it's because.
But I still don't think it's
the speed
close
limit.
as Detroit.
It's not as close. It's further than Detroit, but it's.
You tried saying that it was almost closer.
No, I didn't say almost. I was saying Green Bay was.
You said Minneapolis.
No.
That's why
I said
out.
Minneapolis is close. Like, it's similar in distance from us as Detroit is, but Detroit we have much more direct travel to, and the highway infrastructure, like the speed limit is 75 past West Branch, so that's over half the way. Like if we go to Minneapolis, there's a little bit of stretch, right, in Wisconsin, where you get to go like Peshtigo, that area.
Yeah, I don't think the distance to Minneapolis is similar to the distance to Detroit.
I'll Google it.
Highly disagree.
In the strongest terms possible. Well, okay. The point is that we are close to Green Bay.
Yeah, why were you talking about this? How did this come up?
It was about Green Bay. Oh, the Packers.
Okay, I was like, was there a point that you were trying to make and then you just veered
Actually,
right off?
The point I do want to make is once you hit Escanaba, everything west of there is all Green Bay Packers. Like the McDonald's advertised Packers. Like if the Packers win the game, you get a free fry or whatever the promotion is. I don't know what the promotion is, so don't take my word
it's definitely
for it.
not like that around Detroit because, I mean, not only do you have multiple different Detroit teams,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also U of M and Michigan State in the area, so whereas over in the western Upper Peninsula, it's just sticks.
Hey! Distance-wise, I think they're pretty close, but way faster to get to Detroit, according to Google. I don't know if that was about Green Bay or Minneapolis, but I'll take it. I think it's about Minneapolis, because... Well, so anyway, the point that I'm making about Escanaba and the Green Bay Packers is...
Get out of there.
Oh, is she eating the ranch?
The butter.
Oh.
Caught you. I knew it was you. Sorry.
And to think Spicy was trying to blame it on Susie. Just kidding.
I don't say their kids'
Oh.
names online. How dare you? I can't see what it says on the
Oh,
bottom.
Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. I think my eyes aren't working. It's on sleepy time music again, isn't it? Distant echoes. Do you want me to turn the light on?
Yeah.
It always takes me a minute to realize, like, yo, it's getting pretty dark. It looks fine on camera, but in person, I'm like, man, why am I struggling? Oh, yeah. Should probably turn the light on. That's helpful. And last night, even with this amount of light, it was almost still not bright enough to beat the black background of that medallion that my eyes were starting to go a little cross. Look how much you got done today.
I know. Wow. Oh, I think I did tell you this already, but I did order that table and it came in for my kitchen that has like the metal shelf up top. So I
Put it
think,
together?
yeah, and I've got like the baskets up there for all the chips and the crackers and cereal.
snackies.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, my counter space. I have so much counter space now. but so I have that podium at home that I bought at the Restore.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll stand at that, and I have a clip that I, so these clips, they have the holes in them, so I just screwed a screw through
Into
the
the
hole
podium.
into the podium, and it's just attached, so it swivels whatever way, but I'll stand there and weave, and it's nice because I'm like, I'm standing up, and it's like forcing me to, oh, I'm over here busy getting distracted. Distracting myself. Anyway, I'll stand there, but I've had a box with like paperwork from my grandmother's house and like a couple of skeins of yarn on top of it. So I stand over the box. I'm like, I need to just move the box, but I haven't yet. So it's been interesting sitting and weaving. Because either way, is at home I'm standing, or I have it attached to the TV tray, and then I'm sitting like a shrimp, like you said, yeah. Just curled right up like a scrimp.
In shrimp mode.
And my sister had a baby.
Wait, how did that go again?
I don't know all of it, but it...
I feel like I...
No arms and legs, it's just stump. But he's mildly happy. I don't remember what all the words were.
Your son's going away, Spicy. Change mine. Oh, really? Oh, hello. Just hopped right on me. How you doing? It's not very stable the way I'm sitting. It's not a lot of lap to be on.
It's like there's just enough.
Am I in your viewing spot for the out? Trying to look at the out.
I feel like Tabitha's just been having some spring fever or cabin fever, and
She ready to hang out outside?
yeah, well, she's also just ready to fight. So I don't know if it's just she wants to. But even when I leave, she tries to fight my shoe. Like, stop.
Chihuahua behavior.
Yeah. Just being vicious. George bought this bag of dog treats. It's like chicken jerky fillets. And they just stink. They stink so bad. And he bought a big bag too. And I knew they stink because I had bought some for my dad and Snickers back in the day. And he's like, oh, they're so bad. I'm like, yeah, I know, that's why I don't buy them.
Does Tabby like them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They stink.
But they
Tabby's
stink.
like, stink so good.
She's like, yes.
Have you seen that audio on TikTok where it's like, I ate the fuck up.
No.
And it was great.
No.
It just reminded me of that. Because, but yeah, well, that and also my mind went to dogs, like the treats stinking and her liking them, and dogs liking stinky stuff, and then it reminded me of a TikTok that I seen to that audio where they had like the video was panned on their dog and it said, "Why isn't there any cat poop in the litter box?" And it's like, I ate it the fuck up. Charlie's dog used to do that when she would bring her dog over. We had to try and lock him out of the room that had the kitty litter in it because he would go and lap up all the cat poop. Why are dogs so gross? I don't understand.
Tab doesn't do that, but... Oh, she's... I hated the fuck up.
It just doesn't make any sense to me because, like, from a biological perspective, one of the reasons that we find our poop so gross is because, like, we're turned off by it being trash, basically. So it just makes me curious, like, what do dogs see in it?
I feel like our digestive systems are much more sensitive now. So, like, I don't know. And that's been a product of evolution. And maybe they just, I don't know.
There still wouldn't be a biological explanation for dogs eating poop because it's trash.
Well,
in fact, like, it would be the opposite of why dogs will, like, eat and engorge themselves so much if given that much food. Because even though they feel full, they're still just, like, their drive is to take in as much nutrients as possible. Poop doesn't have any.
Well, I think that it might. I think...
You're out of frame again.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm... do you see me over here shrimping now?
You were totally shrimp. You were worse than shrimping. You were like gremlining. You were a gremlin.
Osteoporotic grandparent. Also, I appreciate that, like, this is just one of our general conversations.
Why dogs eat shit.
Yeah. Tabitha does not do that, though, for the record. She's better than that. She barely even eats her own food.
She's just so skinny. Meanwhile, she's a fat little chihuahua.
She's not fat. She's proportional. I went and visited my friend, and their baby's grown, and they're like, 12 pounds. I'm like, oh my god, that's like 4 Tabithas.
Oh my god, you comparing the dog to the baby.
Yeah.
Also, side note, 12 pounds?
Yeah.
For at birth?
No.
Oh, I was like, what?
No, not at birth.
Okay.
I mean, I did know someone who had like an 11-pound baby at birth. No, this baby is weeks and weeks old. Months old, actually. They're like 0.4 years old. It's like months, but in reverse.
Start counting Tabitha's age in months. She's 416 months.
She's not that old. Oh my god.
I actually don't know how many years that is.
416. Well, there's 12 months in a year, so 400 divided by 10 is 40. So it's like ish years. So like 30 something, 35.
Oh, so I definitely over exaggerated.
Oh my god.
She's 102 months.
It's funny because I could never do quick math till I started working at the health center.
And then you watched Audrey do it.
Well, no, I think I would do it to try and race her. But
just to spite her.
Yeah.
Spiteful math.
Well, and then she had her little adding machine. Last row.
Okay.
Or how much longer do you want to go?
How much longer do you want to go? Let's see, what time is it?
It is 8 o'clock.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah, let's do the last row. For some reason, I was thinking we still had like it was 7:45 or something. Oh yeah, there's a clock on my laptop too. The thing obscures my view of the clock, so I haven't been watching the time as closely, forgetting that it's also visible on my laptop. Look at that.
I feel like I did this much just since I went back to it. Because I had to move it twice.
Yeah. So you got probably do you think 10 inches done today?
I would say probably, yeah. Like, I probably almost doubled what I had done. So, hey.
New leash for the dog.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here. Jace. Flip the camera, and then you can turn it to yourself. You're down to your very last section.
Yay!
Yay! Well, yeah, take that break. It's
That's a good
helpful.
time.
Definitely helpful to work in the breaks a little bit. Okay, I thought I rubbed off my eyebrow for a second. It's just the glare.
It's the glare. It's there.
Thank you for coming too, Pigeon.
Yes.
Yeah, and anybody else who is watching right now, thank you to you in the future as well if you're watching this on replay. Like I said, go follow Josh. His Instagram and TikTok is in the description box, his @, and hopefully it'll motivate him to get going on making the content.
Yeah. I need the push.
All right. Well, I'll be on tomorrow at noon as well as 6 p.m. too. So an afternoon session and a evening session. Finishing up that beadwork. But all right. Until then, Bama Pequab.